is just around the corner as you get a look at Highmark Stadium just south of Buffalo, New York.
Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one
between the Washington Commanders
and the Buffalo Bills.
And we are underway in Buffalo. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
One, ready?
Hands it off out of the gun to about the 48-yard line.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Here we go.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And right away, he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. The 20, 10, 5, and he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. First down, here's Burrow. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. The Bills at 10-2 on the year. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
No gain on the play there, second down. You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a danger. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Carr going to throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 48-yard line. Again, Dobbins trying the right side. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From midfield, here's Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Carr. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Burrow will throw. That's complete to Mooney. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Here we go.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
11. 11 mighty.
Burrow looking to pass. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On 1, ready?
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. To throw, it's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Scott. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 1st down, Carr. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Here's Carr to throw. And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. We call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
11, Thomas.
And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down. He was out there waving his arms. Well, you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help. I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is because you got to get his attention because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their route.
Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Oh, what a move. And he's going to have a Bills first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action with Burrow. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. After the sack on first down, Burrow throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here we go.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Burrow. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there setting ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they should wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Carr now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Washington on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Carr. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Deatrich Wise Jr. with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taken from just outside the 30. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Here we go, here we go.
Now Burrow on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins. Room here to run. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw his Carr. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 19. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. But they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help him out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. It got his man complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there.
And he stopped immediately there. And the tackle there by Micah McFadden. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Carr. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Carr. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the fourth down.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Ready?
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. That pass complete to Moore. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Burrow. And this one is incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Here we go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
11.
Now it's Burrow. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter. No time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
What now?
Throwing again on second down. Carr rolling to his... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jermaine Johnson able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. And thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
Oh, how about this on first and goal? And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard that time. Second and goal.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting him a few yards.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
But that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Carr now on third and goal. This is caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be fourth and goal.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
And his kick here is good. So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
go.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down a couple of scores, 16-0, as they start things out with and now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA. Dobbins running out of the gun. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Another run here with Dobbins. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle. A 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here. But I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
On 2.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now, this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the score. And it's a fumble. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And this offense on third down today, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This time it's 3rd and 3. 69 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On the carry, this is Scott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Dobbins trying the left side. And yet again, nowhere to run. This time maybe we'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down, escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side.
Here we go.
And an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down. And those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. DJ Moore with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bills are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Throwing, Burrow. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Now Dobbins again on second down.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Dobbins. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.